Hello, everybody. So, I just recently found out some new information come to light from Onision's side of the story, as he likes to put it. Um, Before I get into this, I want to tell you guys one thing. We need to stop fighting each other, okay? We need to stop fighting each other. We're all fighting for the same cause here. And yelling insults at each other is something that the Onion wants us to do. And disliking each other's videos, whether you have videos or not. It's tough. And what I'm about to read can be a little triggering for some people. If you have any triggers like gaslighting and stuff like that, or abuse, manipulative language, I do apologize in advance. You know, just when you think things cannot get worse with some people, namely Onision, it always somehow gets worse. You think a man who is being investigated for something as serious as what he has been doing and what he has done and what he's probably still doing, you would think you would save this type of stuff for lawyers. Putting money together trying to get one. Because last time I looked, when you're under an investigation, you don't just immediately get arrested. You do not get immediately arrested. You have to go through certain things, and especially an investigation that is as critical and as, what's the word I'm looking for? Crucial, like this investigation. You save this kind of stuff for the court system. So, when Onision was asked to clear his name, you were given that opportunity to do so by Chris Hansen. And you asked him for an accurate number of $350,000. I mean, I know that's how much you owe the IRS, but that's a little bit steep, and plus it's a journalist show. And then when Vincent, Chris Hansen's partner on his show, asked, I had sent you an email, you responded with, if you say anything about these allegations, I'm going to sue your shoe. Hashtag sue your shoe is a meme, basically. He meant show, obviously. Onision's not the best with typing. For a man who spends so much time on the internet, you would think he would get better at it. And a man who's written 3 books. Self-written, by the way, not published or anything. But I digress. I've been rambling on enough about this part. Alright, so what I want to first point out here is that this is titled, I Would Never Do Anything to Hurt You. They said, ... I'm going to put some bits, I'm going to put the entire bit on the screen for you, and I'm also going to put it at the bottom here that you can read it along. And it's the dumbest piece of word salad it's worse than his official statement. I kind of want to say it's worse than his official statement. Everything has been color coded. You're gonna see these on Mr. Epsion's channel. You're going to see these on probably Mike and Nectar's channel. You're going to see these on everybody else's channel. I'm not comparing myself to these guys because these guys are infinitely better than I am. But holy shit. Wow, I just wanted to give my POV to this topic. I was recently, a couple of years ago, I was mentally and emotionally abused by my ex. Because women can do it too. It's not just guys. It's all genders that do it. But I wanted to read this, and I think you might be disgusted as well. Yellow is for lecturing, orange for guilting, red character and assassination, green denial, blue for gaslighting, purple using others. Let's be honest here. He uses all of them. When Onision lectures people, we saw this whole narc rage thing coming. I think this is what took him like 12 hours to write. He probably had to dissect everything that was said in the Hansen stream by Sarah. He actually does physically address Sarah in this, which is odd because he supposedly respects legal agreements. Right. Okay. At least we have this bit here. And I'm going to read these. And I'm sorry, like I said, if anybody has been through this kind of thing, I do sincerely apologize because I have been through this type of behavior as well. But let's continue on. So after a very long time of silence with names, I'm going to say one. Sarah. I've decided to speak up on this issue because I've recently mailed former patrons a gift certificate to this site, onision.co, as a thank you for pledging to my Patreon at some point in the past. A few people responded with some not so pleasant messages. One was, "You and Kai are monsters," and the other two followed suit. That's basically him using others. It's pretty clear that people will form opinions of others in a conclusive manner without hearing both sides. And that is not exactly something you would want if you were in my position. It's easy when you point the finger. It's not so easy when your life is being put on the chopping block. Irony, because I said that. Call it karma for all the times I judged others. Kinda, in a way. In fact, I called numerous people over the years what other people are calling me now. Yeah, of course you're using Shane Dawson here. A saving grace is that when I referenced the same descriptive words, I used actual definitions and not just emotions. This is important when you discuss facts and implications. We actually have facts and implications, okay? We're not just using emotions here. You don't need to use actual definitions because when you pull up your version of actual definitions, Greg, you pull up a definition that makes no sense to the current situation at hand. Let's read. Myself and Kai have been relatively distant from the topic in a direct fashion because we were talking about someone who was our friend for years. A person we trusted, a person we had repeatedly dedicated things to for years that are the opposite of what they're saying now. But yet, this is not about making anyone look bad. Character assassination and denial. Wow. When you care about people, you don't go on a public rampage trying to ruin their life. I learned about caring about people the most when I failed to show compassion for many years and how I handled friendships I ended. He tries to sound super important with this. A video I made about being too honest regarding an ex is in this post. It shows how I used to handle things poorly. You still handle things poorly. You can't handle anything correctly. At least not in a sense that matters. Being too honest? You mean literally shaming her to the point where she got scared off of social media because your freaking bloodhounds decided to dox her? The way I used to function is if someone said something bad about me, I would retaliate to point out all the reasons I kicked them out of my life. This time, let me just say I have no idea who Sarah is. Okay. I literally don't. You think you know people, you think you understand them, then something like this happens. And you don't just recognize them anymore, and you wonder who they ever were. Who they ever were. If they ever said anything to you that was real. Oh my god, dude, you are one to talk. Swear to God, dude. I'm sure some of you can relate to this. Let's say someone says every day that they're glad that you're in their life. They act like you're super important to them, that they would never hurt you. The next day, they're planting explosives under your car and tweeting about how the idea of your house burning to the ground is hilarious. You're sitting over here going, wait, what happened to that person who said they cared? They said they would never hurt me. To be clear, I'm not saying Sarah said any of those things. I'm not saying Sarah did anything. I'm just using an analogy to help you understand the position I'd found myself in before. Is he... If any of you can explain to me what the fuck I'm reading here, like, he's using terrible analogies. Kai and I outright do not trust anyone anymore. Not a single person. But you trust your entire Discord to tell you what to do and your neighbors. The reason we don't trust anyone is simply because one day someone is your best friend, someone's saying something and they possibly can assure you that you are a good person, they can support you. That they would never try to hurt you, and that the next day it's a full publicity tour. What? Going to every possible person they can think could hurt you and saying the absolute worst things. Oh, like you didn't try using your 2 million subscriber base to harass and harm others for no reason. Right. Okay. I'm sorry, this is only the first section here. Let me show you a video that Sarah sent when she was literally told me to be honest about who Kai was. That's not even a full sentence, but okay. Something Sarah, I was told, revealed to the public that I in fact asked her to be honest. This is Sarah, and adult, speaking of Kai around 9 months ago. Again, thousands of miles away from us, giving her opinion of Kai after she was asked to just tell the truth about him. Oh, what? What? He's a monster just like you? This is an example of the person we thought we knew. A grow-up. The dude can't even fucking spell. Who was our friend. A best friend even. Showing support for Kai. Actually, she was Kai's friend, not yours. You were just there. She knew when she made this video nothing had happened between any of us beyond a mere friendship. You forced her to say this. You wrote it all down and watched her say this. We thought we knew her. We thought she would never do anything to hurt us. That's not a verbal contract, dude. When you have sex with somebody like that, and then a friendship that's supposed to be just a friendship, and then you have sex with them, of course some things are going to turn out weird. I'm not blaming Sarah for any of this, by the way. It's Onision's fault because he coerced her into it. We just wait. That she didn't see us as people to go out and use her for her own benefit. Oh, you're one to talk. For whatever she's getting out of what she is doing now, we just have no idea how to trust anyone anymore due to the fact that we knew this person for years, and you hear it a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's really trying to push the blame onto Sarah. He takes no responsibility, yet he yells at his children to do so. Do as I say, not as I do. Or as they would like to call it, rules for thee, not for me. Sometimes you do not know who you can trust. I still learn that over and over again. Demi Lovato. He uses a Demi Lovato quote that makes no sense here. And oh boy, this thing just gets worse. There are some things I could share with all of you about Sarah. Every story she told us, everything she admitted to, everything she wrote us and did around us. So many things happened throughout the years, things that we don't even have to legally withhold from you. Yet Kai remains absolutely silent because he is deeply hurt to this day. Because of what you've done, Greg. It's your fault. He hates the fact that I even wrote this statement here because he wants nothing to do with internet subjects like this. He does not even know how to process what happened with the person that I, not Kai, but kicked out of our life. Stop using that phrase, man. Kicked out of our life. My God. No, she left. Actually, yeah, you did kick her out because she didn't want to sleep with you one night. Because you said dad ass dough, talking about her, and when she confronted you about it, you kicked her out. You're a piece of shit, Greg. Fact is, there is a common problem with every friendship relationship that I've ended. It's me ending it abruptly, resulting in the same social media outrage. Every single time when I want someone out of my life, I will tell them outright, you need to go. Because when they don't want anything to do with you anymore, you get really pissy and you tell them to leave. I've gotten early fights for people. I've gotten early flights for people to leave, especially in cases where it is discovered someone is lying, cheating, or otherwise admits to committing a horrible crime. The only time he ever encounters horrible crime is when someone smokes weed. Smoking weed in the state of Washington, I've said this before in the official statement video, that smoking weed in the state of Washington is completely legal. It's been legal since 2012. You're a guy who knows all the legal age of consent in every state and country, yet you don't know that the legal age of consent the legal marijuana is legal in your state. My God, dude. Again, I'm not saying Sarah did any of those things. If she had done something and I went on tour of numerous channels to hurt her, I would feel like saying that says a lot about my ability to care for people and what my intentions are. Now, if I knew someone who has wronged me in a legal sense, I would simply take them to courts and that be the end of it. Yawn. Social media exists to give ourselves attention, and I feel it is silly to deny that is why we are all there. Like saying you speak to not be heard. The fuck does that mean? Wow, man. Wow. As some of you may know, Sarah allegedly, and I say allegedly because I never saw it myself, went on to talk with multiple streamers on YouTube. Very well-known names. Of course he doesn't give information on that. Probably Billy the Fridge. Probably. I get most all my information thrown easy on Patreon Discord, where my patrons tell me what people are saying about me, and I often either hear laugh or say, wow, that's messed up. Of course you do, because you don't ever believe anything that actually is true about you. because you believe your own goddamn lies. Well, this time around, it was a bit more of the messed up reaction, as apparently what Sarah was publicly said about us is that, one, I was mean to her when she was not yet an adult. My response to that is yes, I was absolutely mean to her verbally. I called her mean names, like a grade school bully. Basically, that's because I didn't want her to be like me at all. That makes no fucking sense! I wanted her to dislike me. That way our existence around each other would never be uncomfortable for me. And she would know I wanted nothing to do with her. I wanted her to stay away from me, and she did, so it worked out. Not when you coerced her to have sex with you and when your kid was in the room asleep. I did, however, apologize down the line. Sometimes name-calling was a bit much, like using the C word, even in a joking tone. What? What? Oh, you didn't even use the full word this time. Okay. 2, I was told she implied that to me being mean was grooming. Yeah, this is confusing to me because what would people say if I was nice instead? When you have grooming is the act of treating someone well. No, it's not. I mean this in a manner where someone cuts a dog's hair, brushes them softly, etc. It's not bringing the animal in and telling the animal they're stupid. So, with this internet logic that I struggle to understand, it seems that there is no winning in that scenario. No matter what you do equals grooming. Then the concept of grooming loses meaning, and I am at least happy it's now public knowledge that I was mean to Sarah the entire period that she was not an adult. The reason you were mean to her was so that you could tell the internet that you were not grooming her? What the fuck, Onision? Are you this fucking stupid? Grooming... My brain... I'm gonna finish reading this. Because in a rational world, no one sees someone as being mean as someone trying to be inappropriate with them. And that's great. I had no interest in what people imply. My actions clearly reflect that. Just as she admitted herself was the negative rejection-based behavior I showed her. Stop saying rejection, because you obviously of all people should know better than say that. We were told other things that Sarah said, which I happily deny because these statements are not accurate. Of course you would do that. To be clear, this is a rejection of the idea and a denial of the implication that we are guilty of something horrible, as we are not. Yes, you are guilty of it. As someone who has worked in the court system before, or not court system, but in corrections and stuff like that, I see people do this all the time. And mostly from people who are guilty. And if you pay attention with an honest mind, you can begin to understand the motives and background to that led to this. We are using a logical and honest mind, you fucking moron. In order to accurately understand a situation, you have to get all the perspectives involved. People can mistake how things occur all the time. For instance, in this video, you have a girl who at the time said one thing, but long after we cut ties, completely changed her story when it suited her. No, dude. You forced her to write a video. You forced her to make a video with a script about denying any allegations during that time frame. That's not a verbal contract. None of that of what you said is a verbal contract. As you can see above, there is a person who had said one thing happened with Kai, and I, in fact, was the complete opposite. That's not the only example I have. This is a person who was around us constantly when Sarah was around for a very long time, openly defending Kai and I when we were still willing to have this person in our life. Yet now their story changed as well. This is a result of this is a result of possibly tribalism. You mean of possible tribalism? Dude, at least when you where because the people they are friends with people they are friends with believe something they do too. It works both ways, actually. So you have to ask yourself, which time was she telling the truth? Which version of her lines up with the most honest motive? With the more honest motive most? The person who was kicked out of her life or the person who is not yet kicked out of her life? Again, he uses that shit, the kicked out of their life over and over and over again. Like he's trying to physically shut Sarah up with a statement. And dude, that's not going to happen. Honestly, I really hope that she doesn't read any of this. She might. Sarah, this is to you. Don't listen to him. You're a great person. You're a brave person for standing up against him and fighting him with this. And what you've done, starting this domino effect of him finally getting the attention he deserves, which is Chris Hansen's attention. And you're an amazing person, Sarah. I hope that you are doing well. In one area, you have a person who is on good terms with you, so they say nice things about you. And then you say, I don't want to ever see you again, and suddenly you're the worst person they ever met. This happens pretty much every person I've decided not to want to be associated with anymore. Dude, you are the biggest douchebag. Like, I'm sure you're the type of guy to wear sunglasses inside at night. Okay? You are a douchebag. Mm-mm. Man. Man. Wow. Oh my god, it is not over yet. This is an entire video of me dealing with what someone was saying not long after I broke up with them. Again, she just wanted to be friends with Kai, not in a relationship with you. This is another example of a girl who many years ago I said was a great person, even right after I dumped them. But as time passed, despite us having barely any communication with each other, she completely changed her story about me. And not in a heresy, verbal communication way, no. She, on her own accounts, made directly contradictory statements about the first time me being an honest person. And that turned when I was actually an awful person. That said, I was actually an awful person. God, I can't even read his writing. Despite not having significant contact with me between those 2 points. So what I have clearly and repeatedly demonstrated is that people, even Sarah, have undeniably changed their stories about us. And the main event is that change their story is one thing, our termination of the friendship. You know, she was only saying that you were good, that you were a good person, out of fear. Because you are the most fucking biggest piece of shit on this planet as of right now. Rejection is a powerful thing. It takes over your mind, and if you're not equipped to handle rejection, it can lead to compensating, lashing out, and forgetting all the times that you will ever become what you are now. Fact is, everyone in our life thinks the people who are run online campaigns against us are awful until we kick them out of our life. Again, he keeps using that same phrase. Then they are with them claiming after 15 minutes all the people in our life still shake their heads and say, I would never do that to you. Right, so after years and years and years, you're still making videos on Shane Dawson and bullshit like that. Okay, I see. What is important to note is that Sarah has accused us of being physically intimate with her while she was an adult. You were! She rejected the idea anything happened before that, which, wow, you fucking forced her to say. Which is, of course, refreshingly true, and that we obviously wouldn't do that. Shut the fuck up, dude. She did, however, claim acts happened in adulthood that were put rather crudely. I believe one seemed almost like she was bragging that she tweeted something along the lines of, "I fucked Onision." What? Wow, dude. You have to look that up yourself to confirm the exact word use of me personally. I can't bear to look up her Twitter at this point. I have not been able to for some time because, like I said, this person was a best friend. And now it's like they want us dead. No, they want you in jail. You try to remember people for the good times, and then all you see is this enraged person who wishes the worst things happen to you. It's like a huge piece of your life dies. Fucking come off it, dude. To get the implications that Sarah's made, she clearly and repeatedly has said that she was an adult when this alleged thing occurred. She also accused Kai of numerous things which are Kai's business, not mine. Okay, so will you stop your wife from crying and let her speak? Sarah and Sarah's friends implied their legal action being taken, and they did so long ago. Yet Kai remains completely innocent and free. It takes time to build a case, you fucking moron! People who know Kai know he would never do anything like this that was implied then happened to happen. Kai is a wonderful person, as I said before, wasn't the one to cut ties. Right, because you have control over everything in your life. But I think it's because the other party knows they can't hurt me. They try to hurt those I love, and that's heartbreaking. She didn't want to hurt Kai. She said it in the stream. She wasn't trying to hurt Kai. You were the piece of shit who has sex in front of your kids and her, and then forced her to have sex with you at that point when she was an adult. Yeah, you have a concept of grooming, Greg. It's important I inform all of you that we have already spoken to and been cleared by professionals on this associated matters. And because professionals have already looked into it, just like Animal Control clearing me all those years ago, whatever. The police taking my ex-girlfriend away when I called the cops on her and clearing my behavior as well, whatever. While other legitimate officials investigating my life as a result of the internet and clearing us as well. Really. And concluded we were fine. Oh my god. I would hope every rational person could line up all these facts and come to a reasonable conclusion. Facts! It's facts, yeah! We are constantly deemed innocent of what people say about us, yet to many real-world investigations, facts don't matter. Oh my god, dude. Shut up with your facts! Now that you know we have looked into repeatedly, not just this year, but over many years, and that you know with proof the stories of these people have changed from their own mouths, from their own social media, I would hope you would allow yourself to have a less extreme opinion, especially of Kai, who is the best person I know, hence why I'm still married to him after 7 years. Shut the fuck up, dude. Ultimately, you will all believe what you want to, but I think that as a person who has witnessed other people go through numerous online issues with people, it's nice to give them an official statement that concludes everything, but doesn't really reveal stuff that could really hurt people when you once called a friend. Oh, shut up. Oh, like Shane Dawson when you called him a friend? As far as Sarah goes, it's really sad to see all this. It's especially sad to see someone you knew for years wish you ill. But this is the nature of the world, and it's how some things wind up. If it wasn't true, it wouldn't come up. This is not an exclusive story. People know each other for years and wind up being at odds all the time. But for once, I'd like to not reveal private information for myself of others. If only that was something that you would like that you actually do, Greg. I'd like to not discuss things that matter to me that only hurt to think about now. I'd like to move on. Of course you do. Here's a video I made reflecting these more recent feelings. So, long story short, I wish Sarah well. I hope she has a wonderful life, and the same goes for most everyone else on Earth. Whatever. I could do what Sarah did. I could go on a huge rant, go on different channels, and talk entirely about her and dramatic topics in general, but I don't have my heart in it. You don't have a heart at all. You fucking Also, nobody wants to work with your stupid ass. And you did go on a huge rant, okay? I'm tired of kicking people out of my life. I'm tired of seeing them hurt because of it. So I've decided to not just befriend anyone anymore. I think that if I focus on making videos and entertaining my patrons is good enough for me. Okay, so basically what you have to do at this point is to stop being a patron of his. All of you reading, thank you. I'm glad that this page is now here for anyone who who decided to draw conclusions about me and the wonderful Kai. What? You've cheated on Kai multiple times, dude. Kai won't leave you because she's a pathetic doormat. Me personally, I'm glad I am glad we have countless real-world witnesses, my family, my friends, extended family, extended friends. I'm glad we have footage. I'm glad we have the massive archives on text. I'm glad I'm a big enough person to keep that confidential for all the people involved, rather than selling my soul and making just another empty reality show. Oh, so you do admit that you've recorded everything that goes on in your house? Witnesses, your family? Oh, like the family that you won't talk to? And the fact that your sisters are doing better than you? And the fact that you've kicked your mom out of your life because you found out she smoked weed? Extended family? I didn't even know you actually had that. And extended friends? Your patrons and your Discord server 16-year-olds don't count, dude. All is well that ends well, right? Well, I've found my happiness. Kai has been happier than I have ever seen him in years. So I'd say that's great. Take care of yourselves and each other. Jesus Christ. What kind of dumb fuckery bullshit was this? This word salad just... my brain hurts. I'm gonna edit the rest of this, and hopefully this doesn't make your brain hurt as much as it did mine. So anyway, thank you. I know those who don't like me will just hit dislike because they can. And I know I'm sorry that sounded like something Onision would say, but you know what? Whatever. Alright. Catch you guys later. Peace out. That's about all.